Okay, stop and listen for a second. Just listen to the static. I'm going to show you a few different ways to get rid of this. So, be back in a second. Okay, so first thing you want to do when you're troubleshooting a static like that is you want to try to find another audio cable. Check and see if your audio cable is broken or if it's got any cracks in it or anything like that. Just replace it and then see if the static's still there. If the static is still there, you can get one of these. And we're talking about hardware. You can get one of these ground loop isolator. Take the the output, plug it into your computer, and then plug it into this, and this will go into the input of the other computer, vice versa, or however you want to do it. But ground loop isolator, this by design is supposed to take the static out of a line or filter a line to get rid of the noise. You can also think about putting whatever it is that you have your audio on and your computer on the same plug. So where both of them are not looping to each other. Sounds weird that plugging them into the same outlet will get rid of it, but it will get rid of it. So hardware, right? Obviously you have, you can get another sound card, and we'll get into that here in just a second. There's ways around getting another sound card, because most computers now come with the back and the front. We'll get to that here in just a second. So let's go over to software. So when it comes to software, there's a few things you can do to, a couple of things you can do to get rid of the static. One, update your drivers. Sometimes your firmware on your computer and Windows can cause your audio to become stupid. So we'll go ahead and show you how to update drivers and update Windows. So obviously updating Windows, just type in update, check for updates, and it'll bring up your computer where you update. You have some different options in here. You have advanced options and the Windows Insider program. Advanced options will give you just different options of what you want to do. And then you go down here to optional updates, and these are specific to your drivers. Right now, I've got two. I've got the SCSI adapter for Intel and Alienware firmware. We'll go ahead and do these later, but those, your firmware can cause your audio to glitch out because the board hasn't gotten an update. So you want to do those, and also Windows. We can go back to Windows Update and then click on this, check it for updates. If there are any updates, it'll show you the updates and it'll start installing them. Obviously, you see that one was already done. So for the drivers, you can go down to your start button right here and just type in device manager. And then whatever one you want to update, we're going to go to sound, video, and game controllers, right? Mine's the Realtek audio right here, but you can right click it and type in update driver. You have two options: search automatically for drivers or browse my computer for drivers, which is going to search automatically. It's already got the most updated driver, but that's where it is right there. And you can search for updated drivers on your Windows Update also. And it brings you back to here. Again, advanced options and then optional updates. And it will show you optional if there is an update for sound drivers, network drivers, just optional stuff that is outside of Windows, like drivers and stuff like that. But that will also help you get rid of the static. And then if we look at OBS, when I come back to OBS, if you're streaming or if you're doing any kind of content creation of any sort, you can click on the audio right here and go into filters, and it'll bring up the audio filters. And we're going to go ahead and click add and noise suppression. You can name it whatever you want. Click OK. And the RN noise is probably the better one. Just click it. and it'll normalize your audio. So wherever the floor is for the audio with you being quiet and the background, outside of your voice, of course, and it'll normalize that, and it'll get rid of all the static in there. It's not going to get rid of the static when you talk, but it will get rid of the static when you're not talking. And if you're going to do this, you want to kind of separate your voice from your broadcast so that it doesn't take out any sound from, gameplay or whatever you're doing. So there's that. Another thing you can do as far as hardware, you can bring up your audio software. In mine, it's Realtek, right? Audio console. Realtek does a lot of audio. You might have like a Sound Blaster or something like that, depending on your card. But you can go down to whichever one you're at. And let's say that your line out, like your speakers, is the one that's causing the issue, right? Or your line in is what's causing the issue. We'll go with the line in that's causing the issue. We can go down to Device Advanced Settings right here. Inside the advanced settings in Realtek, and some of the other ones do this too, if the back is the one that's giving you the static, you can move it to the front. Now your front panel has this option right here, and it'll probably have it for your back option too, depending on your sound card or your motherboard. You can take this and you can move this to speaker out or headphones right here. So if the back is giving you the static, move it to the front and just tell your front, I need this one to be speaker out. If you're going to do that, you want to disable the front panel jack detection, because it's going to take, so if you've got speaker out on the back and you want it to be on the front and you want them to both have sound at the same time, you need to uncheck this right here. See what happens when you check it? It wants to do a specific thing. So just uncheck it. It's not going to do anything. It just makes it so where it's not going to detect what is actually plugged into it. It's just going to receive whatever sound is plugged into it and whatever you tell it to. So there's that. And then you've got one more option. You can get another sound card, which they're relatively inexpensive, or you can get one of these. Let me flip back over to my other screen here so I can show this to you. External. It's a little USB sound card. You just plug it in. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so before we plug this in, let's go over this thing really quick. So it's got 3 inputs on it. It's got a mic input. See? Get my light up here. 3 inputs. It's got a mic input, a headphone input, and then a headphone and mic input. It's got a volume knob on the top. And then it's got some buttons, a mute button, a 7.1 channel selector button. And it's got 2 game buttons. One's for PUBG sound or something like that. Just 2 games. Anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and plug this in really quick. Just like anything that you plug into your computer, you can change it. It's with audio devices. If you know how to change your audio devices, the same thing in here. You would just go down in your taskbar, and you're going to click into your audio devices, and you can change this. So this one specifically will be GS3, and there's the speakers right here. If I can move my head, it's the bottom one of the GS3 speakers. You can also go into it and change it, your default stuff right here. Change it to GS3. And you also have your microphone for GS3. See, it's showing up as 2 instead of 1. So you have your microphone and your sound. This way, if you don't feel comfortable with actually adding something physically internally to your computer, you can do it this way. You just plug it into USB. And then you can go down here to your more settings. And it brings up your settings where you can set the default sound settings and the default communication device. Obviously, you can go down here to the GS3. Let me find it here real quick. Speakers GS3 is ready. And you can go over to recording. And your microphone and your GS3. And then that thing takes over your audio. and you can plug your ground loop isolator into that if you want to, if it still has a little bit of static. But yeah, easy enough, plug and play. And I'll leave the description of that one in the or the link to that one specifically, since I got it off of Amazon, in the description, so where you can see it, if you're having this issue and you don't want to buy an actual sound card, you can just use that one. Okay, so if any of this stuff helped you guys, or you find it helpful, we're gonna start doing a lot more actual technology stuff over gaming, because I kind of lean toward the tech stuff. I do it for work anyway. So if there's anything you want to see, or anything you want to know, or anything needs to be troubleshooted, or if you want me to help you, Discord's in the description also. If you like the video, I'd appreciate a like. If you like my content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you guys on the next one.